Jesse Kelly, host of I'm Right here on The First, world famous author, world traveler, the Anti-Communist Manifesto. How have you not read it 5 times yet? Jesse, how you doing, sir?
Oh, Mike, I'm good, my man. And look, this is the thing about running for president, because I'm sure you have people ask you all the time, Mike. People ask me, why do they do it? Why would you run? Why is Nikki Haley running? Why isn't she dropping out? Why isn't she doing it? Well, I want to remind people, DeSantis just dropped out, right? Everyone remembers that. And he puts out a statement, and it said a bunch of things. It was all fine. But one of the things he said was, I can't ask our volunteers and our donors to basically fight for a race that can't be won. Now, that's the difference between decent people and people like Nikki Haley. If it's not winnable, then you don't go to people who have their loyalty to you and abuse their loyalty. That's wrong. That's the bad thing to do. But Nikki Haley doesn't care about people. And I know that's hard for people to understand, or maybe people think I'm being too harsh. Nikki Haley doesn't lay awake at night and think about the price of burger. She doesn't. She's never thought about you at all. She doesn't give a crap. This is the ultimate political human being, and everybody, they're just pawns she can use to go further. So she'll keep going. But she's trying to earn Secretary of State, maybe Vice President if she's being lucky. She's trying to earn another position, because without political power, she's nothing. That's all these people have. Once you stay in that game long enough, that's all you become.
Yeah. So what do you say to this Nikki Haley voter? Who is this Nikki Haley voter? How does the Republican Party, how does Trump bring them in to the fold in this next year here? What's the game plan, you think?
What is the plan here going forward? Nikki Haley's going to continue to raise gargantuan amounts of money. I know people think that's crazy. Remember, she's not raising any money from you. She's not raising any money from me. She's not raising any money from normal people. The system, as I call it, the evil people who run all of our cultural institutions, they just want everything to continue exactly like it's going. Now, I know you're thinking, well, everything's going horribly. Yeah, for you, not for them. We just had an article come out recently. I actually encourage people to go read it, even though I never tell people to go read the Wall Street Journal. It was an us versus them. I think there was something like that in the title. And it was very, very revealing about the divide between the elites of this country and normal people. The elites in this country are not only richer than they've been in the past couple of years, to the level of something like 80%, 80% of them want everything to just keep going. You're sitting there watching your life be destroyed, and these people don't want anything to change. What Nikki Haley represents for those people is the chance that if Donald Trump wins, maybe she can get close enough to him that maybe she can hold him back. Maybe she can pull him to the left. Maybe she can do what Jared Kushner did to Trump for 4 years. Trump would be right on an issue. Jared Kushner would come along. We know this from Trump confidants like Peter Navarro and others. Jared Kushner would come along and completely kneecap the whole thing because he's a piece of crap New York liberal. Nikki Haley would play that exact same role in a Trump administration. Her job would be to kneecap anything that upsets the apple cart that is working wonderfully for them and not working for you at all. She'll raise tons of money for these people who write $1 million checks the way you pop Tic Tacs, and that is the goal. Get her close enough to power to make sure nothing else changes. It's sick and it's evil, but that's the whole purpose of all this.
We need to keep her as far away as possible. I haven't seen the exit polls exactly for this one, but I'm sure it's the same as Iowa, where the college-educated voter, Nikki Haley, wins by 70%. But the dumb, low IQ, didn't even go to college, Jesse Kelly, and the people like you who only went to like a little bit of a JUCO, you fools, you voted for the Donald Trump. What do you make of that difference there?
Well, indoctrination works. Let's be honest with you. Indoctrination works, Mike. And I don't want to believe that about people, and you don't want to believe that about people, but the entire history of the world proves that it works. If I was to get a young Mike Slater into my education system at the age of 6 years old, and I was to tell him, educate him day after day, night after night, that the sky is green. Mike, the sky is green. The scientists say the sky is green. Mike, all the experts say the sky is green. Year after year, year after year, year after year. By the time Mike Slater graduated from college, his communist finishing school, at the age of 22, it doesn't matter what his eyes tell him. The sky is green. For the people who go into our university system, you are walking into the lion's den. And honestly, that may be unfair to lions. If you send your child off to a university in this country with what is happening on campus, you better hit your knees and pray every night that that same person returns to you. The level of evil on college campus today is staggering. And not only that, it's actually worse. It's our best universities where it's the most evil. So the Harvards, the Columbias, the Stanfords of the world, these are the most communist universities in the country, and they are not churning out the most brilliant people. They are churning out our cultural leaders, the next CEO, the next senator. Yes, he went to Harvard, but the people they are churning out are genuine humanity-hating pieces of trash. And I don't mean America hating. In that same article, it's funny, I keep bringing up the same article, Mike. In that same article, sorry to filibuster for a minute, but the number was, I believe, don't quote me on this, 88%. What is that number? 88% of the people who graduate from these universities are in favor of rationing your meat and your gas. 88% of the people who graduate university are in favor of the forced mass starvation of human beings. You look at these kids like they're naive college kids. Oh, he'll grow up once he gets a paycheck one day. You do not understand. You are looking at the face of evil because indoctrination works.
And the communists have done it before, as you know more than anyone as a student of history. Jesse, what is a word or idea that many conservatives keep saying over and over, that you just want to grab people by the neck and be, knock it off. You're falling right into their hands. You're playing into their hands. You're blowing it. You guys are missing the message. You're missing the point. Where do you think conservatives, even people watching the First TV right now, need to know what time it is and wake up?
Equality. Conservatives love this word. People on the right love this word. And it's because the right is much more Christian-based. Because the country is Christian-based, founded by Christians. The right, they have more of a founding vision of the country. It's more Christian-based, and Christians are more likely to see people, as they should, equal in the eyes of God, right? I'm not superior to you, Mike. You're not superior to, we are equal in God's eyes. It doesn't matter what your rank is on this planet, all equal in God's eyes. Well, Christians believe that that applies to actual flesh and blood. But the truth is, equality is not something that has ever existed or can ever exist at any point. And if you become obsessed with equality, you will destroy the country because of it. I am not equal to you. We are equal in the eyes of God. I'm not equal to you. You have your own very unique skills and unique bad things about you. I have my unique skills and bad things about me. I'm not equal to you. He's not equal to him. He's not equal to anybody. And yet you will watch people on the right try to act like the nice guy in front of the left, talking over and over and over again about equal this and equal that and equality this and equality that. Equality is a myth. You know what's underrated? Discrimination. That's what's underrated. If you had something that mattered to you, if the person you love most in the world had brain surgery tonight, you know what you would want in the brain surgery? You know what you would do with the brain surgeon, with the potential brain surgeon field? You would discriminate. Nope, this guy's a moron. Nope, this guy smokes. Nope, this guy cheats on his taxes. Nope, I want the best and the brightest. You know why you discriminate? Because you discriminate with something you care about. Yet when it comes to America, we don't want to discriminate at all. Oh, bull crap. I want to discriminate. I'm tired of the weaklings and idiots in this party. I'm tired of letting these people run the country. I'm a big believer in discrimination. Huge fan.
Discriminate simply means to distinguish the difference between. That's all that is. It has to be a good thing. We do it all the time, nonstop, as you so eloquently said. Jesse, we're waiting for Donald Trump to get up here in a second. A few more questions since you're here, and I'm grateful for your time.
Yeah.
One thing I admire about you, and I think we need much more, is many things, but one of them is you don't care about being liked. And I think this is a major handicap among people, but among our party as well. We so badly want to be liked and we want to be nice. What does being nice mean to you?
Well, it means your enemy destroying you. And you're right, Mike. We want to be that. This, again, ties back to the Christian founding of the right. But we want to be nice. And when we see somebody, I actually just saw a video clip. You've probably already seen this, Mike. You probably talked about it on your show. You have a great show. There is a potential OBGYN she's a medical student now in Wisconsin. She's going to be an abortion doctor. She has admitted she's going to be an abortion doctor. And she sat down and she gave a testimony that babies should be aborted all 9 months of pregnancy. All 9 months. Now, I don't expect everyone to be as radically pro-life as I am. That's fine. But that's a baby. That's a fully formed baby. And that human being is so adamant that once she graduates, she dedicates her career to killing it, that she intends to move out of her state if her state restricts her ability to kill that baby. Now, do I want that lady to change, to convert, to see the light? Oh my gosh, yes, of course. But that human being, until she does so, is my mortal enemy. And I do not intend to be nice to her. I don't intend to be kind to her. I intend to defeat her. You want to murder babies. I believe the baby should be saved. We are not going to split the baby, with all due respect to King Solomon. We are not going to do that. One of us will win and one of us will lose. And I don't care if you see me as nice or mean, but I don't care as long as the baby lives. That's what I care about. You, demon, must be stopped. And so you be gone.
Are you turning people off from the compassionate conservative movement?
Oh, I hope so. Because the compassionate conservative movement, well, the compassionate conservative movement is what gave us amnesty in California. It's what allowed the squishy on the border Republican to take over. George Bush was famously squishy on the border. Very, very compassionate. You know, compassionate conservatism doesn't feel quite as passionate when you're an American woman who gets raped by a jogger in the park in the middle of the night. The compassion doesn't quite feel there. When you're an American citizen and you wake up one day and you get a phone call finding out your wife and 2 children were just murdered by a drunk driver who just got here from Honduras, you don't tend to see the compassion in those things. I have a disagreement on what compassion actually looks like. People think I'm some kind of a nutcase. I actually believe I have the most compassionate immigration policy humanly possible. I believe every illegal who approaches our southern border should be turned away at gunpoint if necessary, not even given a bottle of water, hand them a compass, and point them back down south. That may sound evil to you. You would have to do that one time, and then young women would stop being raped repeatedly on the way into this country. When the illegals got here, they would stop destroying our education system, our healthcare system. They'd stop committing crimes. The most compassionate stance you can take, in my mind, is the one I just took. And the one I just took makes people think I'm some kind of a barbarian. I totally disagree on what compassion actually means.
Compassion to whom? I think what people miss. What is your distinction between evil and those who mean well? How do you think through that when you see people who are doing, well, maybe evil things, but they may not even know it or something? How do you look at that?
Well, obviously, we're all sinners, right? We're all sinners. I know this is something you talk about in your great Politics by Faith podcast. This is something we're all sinners, and everybody, hopefully, comes around in the end. Everyone wakes up in the end. But when you stop caring about human beings. I call communists anti-humans. Others have used that as well. Solzhenitsyn called them the enemies of humanity, whatever it may be. I actually saw a video clip of a Yuval Noah, you know this guy, World Economic Forum guy. And he got up, he was giving a speech, and of course he's doing his normal thing. God is a fiction and heaven isn't real and all this other stuff, whatever, set that aside. And what he said was, human rights aren't real either. He essentially said, and he said this in the speech, you're not any different than a jellyfish. You don't have any rights. That is a human being who has set himself above mankind as some kind of a god. And he will preside over the death of millions, billions, without losing a second of sleep because he looks at people and he feels nothing for them. If you're anti-people, then I'm anti-you, and you are evil. There are a million misguided people about this issue or that issue, or parents that guided them this way or that. There's a million of those things out there. None of us are complete, right? But when you look at human beings, humanity, and you don't feel any you don't feel anything for them at all, you think they're the jellyfish, you are a demon and you are my enemy.
Yeah. It was, I'm mispronouncing his name. It was like Yuval Harari or Hassani or something. He wrote this book, Sapiens. You know, that's what I'm telling you about. He wrote this book, Sapiens, a couple years ago, and it's like the #1 book in the country, like most influential book in the country, endorsed by Barack Obama, Bill Gates. They all wrote blurbs on the back. Super popular idea, and this guy is just wicked. But he has an Israeli accent, so people like think he's smart or something. Jesse, I got a ton more like big picture questions for you, and thanks for humoring me with your like this philosophy.
Yeah.
But maybe we should bring it back to the politics of the day. And I love the other day watching a show about after Ron DeSantis and after he dropped out of the race. You just had like the perfect approach. You yourself having run for Congress, you being one of those men who jumped and fought in the arena, as admirable as that is, and we need more people to do that. But you had a great perspective. Maybe you could share that with us if anyone missed it when it comes to DeSantis supporters. And then what do we do? Like, what lessons do we learn from that now moving forward? Whether it's a Nikki Haley supporter who's maybe disappointed if she ever drops out or when she eventually drops out, or how we can be encouraged with Donald Trump moving forward based off your experiences.
Yeah, well, first, I've experienced the agony of defeat and the elation of victory. I ran for those who don't know, I ran for Congress twice in Arizona. I was fresh out of the Marines. I'd never been in politics. I just got mad, of course. I got mad and threw myself into it and ran for Congress twice. I won both primaries. So I know what that feels like. I lost both general elections. That's why I'm here on television and not in Congress. So I know what that feels like. Let me tell you this. If you're hurting right now, you're a DeSantis supporter, you had your guy, and he conceded, it's over, it's gone. It was gone after Iowa. Anyway, that's just the reality of life. It's gone. In the wake of that, it hurts. I'm telling you right now, I had to do that walk. We were at a hotel. It was a hotel in town, but we had a couple hotel rooms where we could relax, and all of our supporters are there. It's a huge party down in the hotel restaurant and conference room. Woo, it's going to be Congressman Jesse. And my wife and I are in the room sitting with the campaign team, and boom, the numbers come in. We got a new batch of votes, and the batch meant didn't bother with the details. It was over. I wasn't going to win. And we knew it. It was right there. It's right there. So it's concession time. And you have all these people, and maybe this is you if you're a huge DeSantis fan, who've poured their blood, sweat, and tears into a campaign. They believed all the way. They believed not only they were going to win, they believed they should win. Their guy was right. And then I had to do that long walk through all my supporters down to the conference room. We had a podium set up. I had to do this long walk down through all this and get up in front of the podium. And women are crying. I had to sit there and give a speech and tell them it's over. It's over. And look, I can't do anything to make that pain go away, but I will tell you this. I'm 42 now. I was, 26, 27 when I lost that race. So it's not ancient history, but it was a while ago. I look back on that now, and that's the greatest thing that ever happened to me was losing. I'm glad I ran. I'm glad I tried. I'm glad I got to know the political process better. I'm glad I got in the game. I feel the need to always be in the game. I don't want to be a critic. I want to be in the game. I want to fight for it. That's why I do this. It's why you do this. I ran, I lost, and it hurt. It hurt really bad. Greatest thing that ever happened to me. Looking back now, greatest thing that ever happened to me. Ron DeSantis is not 85. This isn't the last time you're going to see him. He's the two-time insanely successful governor of one of the biggest, most powerful states in the country. You could probably make a pretty valid argument he's the greatest governor of my entire life. I don't know that I can think of another one that would match what Ron DeSantis has done for Florida, on top of taking it from a purple state to a red state. Ron DeSantis is going to be fine.